meet you. Obviously, I'm excited to talk about you because Friday was a big day. Your latest single,
Yeah.
Confused, came out. But before we get into all that, I would love to hear you tell your story and how you got started making music.
Wow. Getting started making music. It was 2013.
Yep.
I was a sophomore in high school.
Hmm.
I had been playing football for like 8 years prior. And then when I realized football wasn't going to work out, I just like started making music.
Mhm.
Um, because I always wanted to make music deep down. But when you go to school, you can't really connect with anybody on music because nobody was really doing it. Besides, like the shy nerd kids and band, all of that. But I
Mhm.
was a football player, so I was like kind of like, I gotta be cool. So
Aw.
um, yeah, I never did music until I quit football. And I went back to music. I think when I was like 10, I asked my mom for like a guitar and a piano for Christmas.
Yeah.
I never touched it, but like
Oh.
they did get it for me and stuff. So I always had the interest. And I started around 2013. Mac Miller was the shit.
Yep.
J. Cole, Kanye. Do you remember that time in music where it was like J. Cole, Mac, and Kanye dropped the same day?
Time will never be the same. That like 2011, 2013, that era was just different.
Yeah. And the blogs were still big, and
Yep.
like a write up could change an artist's life. And yeah, so those are like some albums that I listened to, and they were all the thing about all three of those guys is that they're all masters of their craft, obviously, but they're all like producers as well.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, that's like I just thought I needed to make my own beats.
Yeah.
So while I started learning how to rap and write songs, I also started learning how to make beats around that time. Yeah.
That's great. I mean, the more you can know and kind of soak up like a sponge, the better you're gonna be at just like being your own artist. So that's great.
Yeah, exactly. And then
Absolutely.
you start studying their influence because those guys sample a lot.
Yep.
So from their samples, and I didn't grow up around much music
Mm-hmm.
besides like gospel stuff that my dad was listening to, and like soulful stuff like Prince that my mom was listening to, and
Yeah.
my older brother was just like straight street gangster, 50 Cent, Lloyd Banks, you know what I'm saying? So that
Mm-hmm.
was the stuff that I was into as a kid because I thought it was so cool.
Hell yeah.
Um, so obviously being an athlete, it was more like hype music. So I wasn't really into other music, but figuring out the samples from, stuff that these guys were using, then you get to find more music and, your palette starts to increase and grow.
It's
So
a rabbit hole from there.
yeah, it's a rabbit hole. Exactly.
Totally. I know that you're also a fellow New Englander, which is so cool. You come from Connecticut?
Yeah.
And Connecticut is maybe not the first state you think of, or New England as a whole, in terms of places that spit out artists. So I think that's
Yeah.
extra special about you. How do you think being from that area has influenced you as a person and your music?
Big time because it's like Connecticut is so diverse where I'm from. I'm from Stanford, which
Yep.
is like the best city in Connecticut.
I
um,
love it.
yeah, so it's like southeast Connecticut, neighboring Greenwich, and Norwalk. So those two were like right there. We have a beach. The downtown scene is great. The harbor scene is great. Food is good. Pizza's great. But more than anything, it's so diverse.
Mhm.
So there's many different cultures that you're a part of. Like when I was in fifth grade, I went to one of my best friend in fifth grade was like fresh from China, like his
Wow.
family. So like I go to his house and then like I'd have to take off my shoes. And
Yep.
like in my house, it was kind of a little different. Like we kind of got to do whatever we wanted to do. Like it was a little bit less structured. I had to take off my shoes and then like I had to like get on my knees for dinner and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But like early on, that made me more like open to
Yep.
things, like open, and it shows in my music too. Like my best friend being from China, or my first girlfriend being Latina, or just
Yep.
so Stanford is like that, and different brackets, and as far as like income,
Hmm.
it's just so diverse. So I love where I'm from. It made me me. So I love
Good.
it.
Do
Sure.
you
Yeah.
still stay in Connecticut?
Now I'm in LA now. So I've been in LA for 2 years, and 21 years I was in CT. So
Yep. Trying something new for a little bit. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I know in conjunction with your music, you also have this childlike brand. Can you talk about what that is?
yeah, Childlike. I wish I could show you, but I have
Oh,
a rug right here,
oh,
and
cool.
just a bunch of clothes that I've been. Let me grab a shirt for you.
Yes, please.
It's yeah. Here's the green. I think this is my favorite one right now.
Yes, love that green.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Love
So the
it.
green is sick, and just something that I wanted to offer extra to the world, just like brand and identity, a movement, and that's what it is. Just childlike grown-ups. And if you saw the All in My Head video, it's like the first childlike experience.
Mhm.
I like to call them like childlike experience. Things that just invoke nostalgia, make you feel like your 15-year-old self. So everything I do now is for my 15-year-old self.
Oh, I can relate to that on a spiritual level. You got to make that like high schooler proud.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah,
For
yeah. Because
sure.
anything like this interview is like, oh, I'm super proud right now. Like,
Oh,
remember
good.
when you started? Like you too. Like wherever you come from, and if you can
Right.
remember back then, like what it is, and like just be wide-eyed and happy about every opportunity. I think that'll
Mhm.
help you big time.
Absolutely.
That's what
Absolutely.
childlike is about.
Yes. Oh, we love the brand. And flash forward to today, we also have the new song, Confused. Can you talk about the process that you went through putting this track together?
Yeah, yeah. Confused. I wrote that song last year.
Mhm.
Um, and my manager, Aton, we had just started working together. He's like, "What can I do for you?" I was like, "Man, I just need some beats. I'm not really liking the beats I've been making
Mhm.
because prior I always did all my beats, like I said. But
Yeah.
sometimes you go through like little funks, and you're like, oh, I don't like anything I'm making.
Right.
So I asked for beats, and he had just signed this young kid from Florida named Chris Basseline, good friend now,
Mhm.
little bro, and he just sent me a bunch of beats that ended up becoming what the EP is now.
Great.
Uh, yeah, so I heard the beat to Confused, and I just did the record. I did it pretty fast. It was like what I was going through, just like in my relationship, and
Mhm.
you know, and then it just came out.
And here we are.
Yeah.
And you've been busy earlier. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, no. That's it. You're good.
Okay, good. Earlier this month, you also kind of touched on the music video you did for All in My Head. How did you come up with the concept for this video? Because it is super fun and very childlike.
Yeah. So me and the director Ariel have a great relationship, and so I was, she's known about Child like for a while now, so she's always like bringing up ideas and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I had the concept of everybody's in my ear,
Yep.
and my thing was I wanted to have a big ear.
Yes.
It's just like symbolism, just expression, like the idea of like everyone being in your ear and your ear just being fucking swollen.
Yep.
Pressure, whatever that is,
Yep.
that happens to artists or people in business when it gets overwhelming. So I had that concept and I wanted to portray that visually. So I pretty much came up with like a quarter of the video, and I was like, I wanted it to be in a gym, but we didn't have enough money. Like how in the school photos you guys just pulled up to the gym,
Yes.
and then you had to sit and like fake smile and stuff.
Yes.
So I kind of wanted to recreate that moment for the music video, and I was like, well, I want it to be like a slow zoom in or a slow zoom out, which we ended up doing the slow zoom out, and we go into my ear, and then inside of the ear we go up, and we're in this bouncy house, and it's just me and a bunch of characters in childlike gear.
Yes.
And then from there, she took over, and that sparked a bunch of ideas for her. And she was like, "Oh, you should do a birthday party and this and that." And then at the end, I wanted some sort of twist. So I was like, I want a grandma, because she's saying like she wanted like our friend Jacob to like get hit with the cupcake. So I'm like, okay, at the end, instead of her ending, I was like, how about we have grandma like chase after the bully?
Yes.
And then, well, you be the grandma. And I was like, all right, cool, let's do it. So that's how that happened. And yeah, so it was just a big collaboration between me and the director.
It's great. And I mean, how often do you get a chance to be a grandma?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like you gotta seize that opportunity. The video is super dope.
Yeah, you got to, for sure. Yeah.
Now that Confused is out, what are you working on now, Kevin? What's next?
Wow, so Confused is out. I'm here now in the home studio. I do everything here.
Yep. Awesome.
Got a lot of sunlight, so it's got a lot of energy.
Yes, that's important.
And yeah, so next I'm working with my friends from Toronto, Bijan Amir, who's a pretty big producer. He did Ric Flair Drip with Metro and Offset.
Wow.
And he did some Party Next Door stuff. He's just this kid from Toronto who's super talented. And our record didn't make it on this EP because it just wasn't the vibe. Like the sounds were different.
Sure.
So he and I are working on a lot of stuff. And then TM88, who's like one of my favorites from Atlanta, he did like EXO Tour Life for Uzi, a bunch of like future stuff. And he actually just hit me up on Instagram, and I was like, bro, like,
yeah.
So I got some records with those two that are just the best stuff that I've ever done. Like, and I just started like 2 weeks ago, so it's very early in the process, but so excited. Like,
that is so exciting. Lots to look forward to. You're staying busy over there. It's good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm about to. I actually have a session after this with my friend Mayhem, who's another Toronto guy. I think he works with Frank Dukes. He like makes samples and stuff like that. So a lot of the kids in Toronto are really cool. Like what they're doing sonically, it's like, and it shows like fucking Drake. That's why Drake's so fucking big. Like,
I know. God help us. I know. Yeah, Toronto, it's spitting them out. I don't know what's in the water. It's none of my business.
Where are you guys? I actually don't know where you guys are.
We're in Maine. So
you're in Maine.
A jump from Connecticut. Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Have you been up here before?
I've never been. I was supposed to go to Maine for snowboarding one time.
Yup.
I never made it.
Not yet. One of these days we'll get you out here for sure. The New England tour.
Sure. I gotta go. There's a lot of cool mountains and stuff. Maine and Vermont.
Yep, absolutely. That's what we got going on in the winter. That's just about it. So, as you know, you're from New England, so you get it. For sure. How would you describe your sound, Kevin, to someone who's maybe never heard your music before?
I would say the music is just a spiritual experience. I would say the music's very spiritual, and yeah, I would say it's spiritual, hip hop, pop. Yeah, I say spiritual. I say spiritual because I do a lot of things on the fly. So as far as like lyrics and melodies, it's kind of just like I kind of just go in and whatever happens, and I like to stick to my gut with things. I don't like to overthink them. And that's how the best songs come out. So it's got to be someone out there that's helping me come up with all this stuff. So
absolutely.
I would say very angelic and spiritual.
I can see it for sure. I love that.
And the new stuff is a little more turned. So you get the angelic, spiritual, but it's also like super turned.
Yeah. As it should be. That's awesome. I can't wait to hear all that. I also saw online, we got to talk about this. You hosted a skate night with an
Yeah,
open bar?
that was live.
Please tell me all about that.
It was live, man. We had like I think like almost 300 people showed up. We hit max capacity. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, because everyone in LA likes to drink, have a good time. Like we
Yeah.
all, and I'm still young. I never really drank much as a kid. So since I turned 21, I just, started going nuts with that. But, we love having fun with our friends. We love bar hopping, just being kids, being crazy. And then I thought it'd be a dream come true to see everyone a little tipsy and skating. So
Yeah. Sounds awesome.
but no one got hurt. Everybody was very, very good. Like it was so cool. It was a great turnout. Everyone was skating, listening to the
Oh,
music. I curated the playlist, Childlike Radio.
of
And
course.
it was just cool, a mixture of old 80s, disco,
Oh,
early 2000s. We had Britney Spears to Earth, Wind and Fire to Kevin George to The
oh,
Weeknd.
naturally.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great experience. Everybody had fun. There was
Oh,
well. So, and the crazy thing is that it started at midnight. So
wow.
and it went to 3 a.m. and we were able to get everyone out and just like people who go to bed at like 9 p.m. were there.
Oh, that's
Like
so great.
she's someone that's like she's probably in bed very early, like 10 o'clock.
You had to come out for skate night.
She was out there.
Is there gonna be another one
I don't know.
now?
We're people are wanting another one. It
Yes.
makes sense. So, we just gotta check the budget and see if we
That's fair. In addition to skate nights, though, do you have any live performances coming up?
I do. We're trying something with Major Stage right now. My
Ooh.
PR, she does Amethyst, Olivia. She's great. So she actually just booked me with Major Stage and the Knitting Factory uh,
Okay.
in Brooklyn, and
Yeah.
that's around the time of the EP release next month.
Great.
So that would be cool. That would be cool.
That'll be so fun. Back on the East Coast.
Yeah, so I think that's gonna be my first show in a while. So
Yeah.
we're still working that. I think by the end of the week I'll know everything.
Amazing. What can people expect out of a Kevin George performance?
Wow. I feel like I'm a great performer. That's like my favorite thing to do.
Yes.
Kind of like the new school energy of a child. It's like a lot of jumping around and having fun, but also times where I get tired and I want to sit and sing a medley and just have a piano player and we have the lights up and so I just feel like it's a big roller coaster of emotions at the
Awesome. It's a ride. I love it. I got a couple fan questions for you, Kevin, from Instagram. Let's see who's first. Javier805 wants to know, why are you naming your upcoming EP Everybody's in My Ear?
Wow. Why am I naming my EP Everybody's in My Ear?
Yeah, where'd the name come from?
Yeah, because it gets tough, man. It gets tough.
Ain't
It
that the
gets
truth?
being artists and partnering with friends who believe in you and want to see you win. And a lot of people have opinions. You have opinions. People you trust have opinions. So it gets tough to listen to your own voice sometimes. And you things that it's why it's good to be confident. It's good to have self-love and confidence so you are sure on what you want to do.
Yeah.
If not, there's going to be a lot of confusion from friends, family, investors, people who just, lead with love. I think the intentions are right, but it can cause a lot of clog for artists or young people in the business. So that's what it is. Everybody's in my ear is how it felt. So it's literally.
It's literal. Yes. Amazing. Next fan question is from Al Beasy. They want to know who/what inspires you.
Who/what inspires me? That's a good question. That's okay. But I pretty much live my life searching for inspiration all the time. So I'll wake up trying to find inspiration. So you kind of live your life that way. Like every day, you're searching for that inspiration.
Hmm. Yep, it's organic, comes
Yeah.
naturally.
So it's not necessarily who or what, but it's more so how can I stay inspired every day.
Mhm.
So
Absolutely.
the world around you, man, you just gotta go find it.
Yep. For sure, for sure. It's bigger than we think sometimes. There's a lot going on.
Sure.
Totally. Well, last but certainly not least is my question. So, here in Maine, our state motto is the way life should be. So, I want to know, according to you, what is the way life should be?
Um, the way life should be. That's cool. I like that motto.
Thanks.
I think life should be the way that you want it to be. Even though a lot of people may not have that reality, sometimes things happen and life isn't the way it should be, but I think life should be the way you want it to be. So I think curating your life on how it should be is how it should be. If you want to love this person, love that person, that person, that. If you want to do this, do that. That's how life should be. Just do what you want and don't feel bad about it.
That's perfect. I mean, life is too
As
short
long
to
as you're
live
not
in
hurting
regret.
nobody else and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I love it. That was perfect, Kevin. It was so great to meet you. I'm sure this will not be our last encounter because you're going to have to make a New England stop at some point, and we'll be
Yeah,
here waiting.
I can't wait.